Okay, so good day everyone. So welcome again to ENS161 Statics of Rigid Bodies, Module 3, Analysis of Structures, Sample Problems. So we have to separate yung sample problems natin kasi masyadong mahaba yung lectures. So let's review what are the steps in performing or analyzing a truss using method of joints. So your solution will consist of the following steps. First is you will draw the free body diagram of the entire truss and use this diagram to determine the reactions of the supports. Next is to locate a joint connecting only two members and draw the free body diagram of its pin. Next is to locate a joint where the forces is only two of the connected members are still unknown. So, first is, if merong member na two member lang or two bar forces lang involved, yun yung unahin natin. And the next is to locate forces or joint where the forces involved is dalawa lang yung unknown na members. And then repeat this procedure until the forces in all the members of the truss have been found. And note that the choice of the first joint is not unique. So, meron tayong clue somehow kung ano yung first joint na isa-solve natin. Okay, so let's have a sample problem using methods of joints. So sample problem 6.1. So with this truss shown here, we have two applied forces, that is 2,000 pounds at A, 1,000 pounds at B. So okay, remember, trusses, applied load on trusses are only on its joints. So sa member, hindi pwede sa member kasi mahina siya sa lateral loads or on other loads. So 2,000 pounds on A, 1,000 pounds on B, and you have a roller reaction at E and a hinge reaction at C. So 12 feet yung haba ng member, and yung distance here is 6 feet and 8 feet. So using method of joints, determine the force in each member of the truss shown. So first step is to draw the free body diagram of the truss and solve for its reaction. So okay, so reaction at E is a roller, so we have one reaction here that is an upward force. So say this is E, okay, force E, and we have a reaction here at C. So say this is CY and this is CX. Okay, so the free body diagram would look like this. So we have applied loads at A and B, which is given in 2,000 pounds and 1,000 pounds at A and B respectively. So first we will draw the free body diagram and use the equilibrium equation to solve for the reactions. So meron tatlong reactions, CY, CX, and E. Okay, so first equation is we will have a summation of moment here at C, so that ma-eliminate muna natin yung CY and CX and mahanap natin yung E. So that is summation of moment at C, assuming counterclockwise positive. Okay, so first, so we'll start with the furthest. So 2,000 pound is the force. So moment is force times distance. So 2,000 pound multiplied by, so ano yung perpendicular distance niya hanggang doon sa C? So that is 12 plus 12, so that is 24 feet. Okay, so next force is yung 1,000 pound multiplied by perpendicular distance with respect to C is 12 feet. So that is 12 feet. And then, so these forces is counterclockwise yung effect niya. So if you hold it at C, so pointing downward, so magiging counterclockwise yung movement ng force natin. So pag ganyan. And also yung 1,000 pound natin. Pag ganyan. Okay? So sa E naman, if you hold it at C, so So E is going upward, so that makes a clockwise rotation. So meaning that is negative E multiplied by 6 feet. So 6 feet yung perpendicular distance. So if you extend it here, so perpendicular distance niya is 6 feet. So 6 feet. So that is equals to 0. And then, so the only unknown here is E. So we can solve for E. So that is positive 10,000 pounds. So to transpose mo lang, so i-add mo yung dalawang equation and divided by 6 feet. So E is 10,000 pounds. Okay? So meron na tayong E. So since meron na tayong E, we can now solve for CY and CX. Okay, so we'll start with summation of forces X is equals to 0. Going to the right is positive. So sa X natin, to the right is positive. So if you look at the free body diagram, isa lang yung forces on the x-axis. So meaning wala siyang iba. So to maintain equilibrium or in static or rigid state, so that means that Cx is equals to 0. So walang forces na nag-counter sa Cx. So meaning Cx is equals to 0. Okay, so sa summation of forces, y equals to 0. Upward is positive. So we have E plus Cy minus, since downwarding 2,000, so that is minus 2,000 pounds minus 1,000 pounds is equals to 0. So this is always equals to 0, huh? So E natin is 10,000 pounds. So this means that Cy is equals to, so that is 10,000. So lilipat natin sa kabila. Sa kabilang side, so magiging minus 3,000, so magiging 7,000 pounds yung Cy. So negative. So meaning we first assume that Cy is going upward, but since the result is negative, so meaning Cy is equals to 7,000 pounds downward. Okay? So ito yung answer natin. So we have now solved. So i-change lang natin. So this is going downward. Okay. So we have solved for Cy and Cx and Ce. So next is find for a member where find for a joint where only 2 member yung involved. So alin sa mga joints natin yung dalawang member yung involved. So we have yung A natin. So probably we will start with joint A. Okay, so next step is to find a joint where there are 2 members that are still unknown. So in this case or in this problem, we can first start with joint A. So merong dalawang unknown, that is member AD and member AB. Okay, so first is we will draw the free body diagram at joint A. So say this is joint A. And the forces on joint A are, first is the given, which is 2,000 pounds. So say this is A. And we have AB and AD. So if we analyze, so mag-assume din naman tayo, so it should be a calculated assumption. So if we analyze here, So since the 2,000 pounds is in compression sa A, so meaning member AD could be in compression also. So meaning nagka-counter siya dun sa force na 2,000 pound. And since AD, assume natin is going upward, so meaning meron siyang force component na going sa left side, no? So yung component niya, meron siyang component na paganyan. So this part would counter the 2,000 pound, and to counter this, we will assume that AB is in tension. Okay, so this is force AB, and this is force AD. Okay, so by component method, we will solve the components of forces AD. So we can proceed with the equilibrium equations, but we can also use the slope. So if we try to see here, so member AD, so we'll form a triangle. So this is AD. So meron tayong, this is 8 and this is 6. Or we can simplify as 4 and 3. So yan yung slope ng AD natin. So to get the hypotenuse, so we'll solve C is equals to A squared plus B squared, so that is 5. So this is what you call a perfect triangle. So meron tayong 3, 4, 5. So we can instead use the slopes in solving the components instead of getting the angle and using the sine cosine na mga value. Okay, so solving for the forces AB and AD. So since meron lang tayong tatlong forces, we can use the force triangle to determine FAB and FAD. So this is our force triangle. So this is 2,000. So meron tayong FAB and force AD, which is yung slope niya is 4 and 3, and this is 5. So since they are both similar, we can use the proportion or a proportion method. So 2,000 pound is to 4, force AD is to 5, and force AB is to 3. Okay, so first we will find AD and then AB. So force AD is equals to 2,000 multiplied by 5 over 4. So meaning force AD is equals to 2,500 pounds, which is in compression. Okay, so that is 2,000 pounds compressed, 2,500 pounds in compression. And for force AB, so meaning positive yung result niya, so it is tama yung assumption natin na AD is in compression. So we'll check for AB. So we have 2,000 multiplied by 3 over 4. This is equals to, still positive yung ano natin, sagot natin. So this is 1,500 pounds in tension. So ito na yung answer natin. So FAD is 2,500 pounds and FAB is 1,500 pounds. Okay, so this is 1,500 and this is 2,500 pounds. Okay, so that is for joint A. Now, we'll find a joint where where two members are unknown. Okay, so if sa B tayo, this is meron na tong value that is 1,500 pounds in tension, and this is unknown, this is unknown, this is unknown. So same goes for letter E, tatlo yan. So dito tayo sa letter D kasi meron na tayong value on for a member AD, and so dalawa na lang yung hahanapin natin. Okay, so first is we will draw the free body diagram of D. Okay, so meron tayong compressive force na AD, which is 2,500 pounds. Now, so since this is in compression, so meron siyang component, X component na to the right. So we can assume that FDE or yung force DE is in compression also. That is toward the joint D. FDE. And yung force DB naman is in tension. So force DB. Okay? Okay, so again, we can use the force triangle since tatlo lang yung force natin. So we have here force DE, and then force this is 2,500, and then force dB. So previously yung slope ng AD is 4, 3, and 5. So that is also the same for FBD. So if you look here, so this is 8 and this is 6, or 4 and 3. This is 4, this is 3, and this is 5. So hindi natin ma-apply yung na-apply dito na nag-proportion tayo kasi this is not a right triangle. So it is only applied here kasi our force triangle is right triangle and our slope natin also is force triangle. So similar triangle sila. But here, hindi na siya force triangle. Okay, so since 2,500 pounds or force AD have the same slope with DB, so meaning same sila ng magnitude but iba ng sense. So we can say that force DB is equals to force AD. So but opposite ng sense. So same sila ng slope, same ng opposite ng sense. So that is 2,500 pounds, which is in tension. So tama na, tension yung dB natin. So this is force dB. Okay. So sa force, ano naman, sa force DE. So force DE is, so this has a positive X, positive Y, and positive X. So meaning, dalawa yung positive X niya. So, okay, so using the slope, we can easily find the X component of the forces. So for force dB, X component ng force dB is yung, so sa triangle natin, meron tayong 3, 4. So that is 3 over 5. So this is 3 over 5 ng F dB. So this is the way on how you find X components or X and Y components of a force given na perfect yung slope niya or ganito yung slopes niya. So, para hindi ka na mag-solve ng cosine, sine, cosine using the angles. And force dB y is equals to, so y is number 4 or yung vertical, 4 over 5 f dB. So that is how you solve components, x and y components using the slope. So sa force DE natin, meron tayong dalawang x component nung force AD and force DB. So first is 3 over 5 ng force AD plus 3 over 5 ng force DB. So since force AD and force DB are both 2,500, so we can say that 2 times 3 over 5, so since dalawa siya, multiplied by 2,500, or you can solve it as is na lang. So FDE will then be equals to 3,000 pounds, which is positive, so meaning that is in compression. So tama yung assumption natin na CD is in compression and FDB is in tension. Okay? So that is for the force DE. Okay, so next step is find a joint where two members are still unknown. So for this case, we can solve for joint B. So joint B, so we have solved the value of force at member AB, DB, and yun. So yung BC and B are still unknown. So you can also go for E kasi meron na tayong value dito and unknown yung dalawang member. So but since nag-start na ng A then D, so isusunod natin yung B na lang. So joint B. Okay, so this is joint B. Okay, so at joint B, meron tayong applied force na 1,000 pound. And then force AB is in tension. So force AB is equals to 1,500 pounds. And force DB is in tension also. So that is force BD is equals to 2,500 pounds. So we can assume muna na yung force, since marami ng forces na involved, so we can assume na force BC is in tension, which is our unknown, and force BE is in tension also. So if positive yung result ng BC and BE, so it means tama yung assumption natin na in tension yung BC and BE. But if one of the results is a negative, so meaning one should be in compression. Okay, so since marami ng forces na involved, so hindi natin maka-apply ng force triangle. So we'll now use the equilibrium of forces. So first we'll find the slope, identify the slope ng forces that are in diagonal. So this is 4, 3, and 5. So pare-pareho sila ng slope, no? So 4, 3, and 5. So we'll first summation of forces along. So meron tayong unknown na x, which is FBC, and FBEX. And isa lang yung unknown natin na y on y-axis. So that is y component ng FB. So we can start with the summation of forces along y is equals to 0, upward positive. Okay? So first is yung given natin. So downward means negative. So that is negative 1,000 pounds minus, so FBD, so that is downward yung Y member ng FBD. So this is to the left and downward and to the right. So the slope is 4, so that is 4 over 5 of FBD, so that is 2,500 pounds. Minus, same, 4 over 5 ng FBE. So yun lang yung, yung mga Y forces na involved, so that is equals to 0. So solving for FBE, so FBE will be equals to negative 3,750 pounds. So negative sign means our assumption na tension yung BE is mali. So that is in compression. So therefore, FBE is 3,750 pounds, which is in compression. So from this point onward, gagamitin natin ng FBE as compression, no? Okay, so compression, so meaning, so naging compression siya, so meaning yung X niya is to the left na din. So summation of forces along X is equals to 0, to the right, positive. So FBC, first is FBC, positive, minus FAB, which is 1,500 pounds, minus, so first ito, yung X component ng FBD is negative siya kasi downward yung FBD, so negative pa left yung X component niya. So that is 3 over 5 using the slope 2,500 pounds. And then, since the FB is in compression na, so FB is in compression, saan ba yun? In compression, so meaning, yung component niya at X is also negative. So, ganyan. Okay, so that is negative 3 over 5 of FBE equals to 0. So, meron tayong value ng FBE which is 3,750 pounds. So, meaning, we can now solve for FBC. So, FBC is equals to positive 5,250 pounds, which is in tension. So, tama yung assumption natin. Tension. Okay, so nasolve na natin yung dalawang unknown bar forces. So, FBC is 5,250 pounds and FB is 5,250 pounds and FBC is 3,750 pounds. Okay. Okay, so the remaining joints are E and C. So isunod na natin yung E. Okay, so at joint E, forces are reaction at E, which is 10,000 pounds. So nasolve natin kanina, E is 10,000 pounds. And then FDE is in compression. So that is FED is equals to 3,000 pounds. So nasolve din natin yun kanina. And then yung bago lang na-solve na FBE, which is in compression also. FBE is equals to 5,250 pounds. And then we will assume that force EC is in tension. Okay. So this is joint E. So the slope of FEC is also 4, 3, and 5. So this time we will only use one equation. Either we use summation of forces x or summation of forces y. So say for example, we will use summation of forces along x is equals to 0 no force to the right is positive. So we'll start with the EC. So x component of FEC is 3 over 5 FEC, and then plus force ED, which is 3,000 pounds, and then plus yung x component ng force BE. So that is 3 over 5 ng 5,250 pounds. Yun yung value ng BE natin. So that is equals to 0. So FEC lang yung unknown natin. So this is equals to FEC is equals to negative. So negative yung result natin, 8,750 pounds. So meaning, therefore, FEC is in compression. So FEC is equals to 8,750 pounds compression. So yun yung value ng FEC natin. So we can check. So you can check. So try solving this. So pause the video muna, then try solving FEC using summation of forces along y. Upward force is positive equals to 0. So try to solve it. So we will come up with the same result of 8,750 pounds in compression yung EC natin. Okay, so last joint is on C. So since known na yung forces natin on B, C, and E, so basically we need not to solve at joint C, but we must check, no? So i-check natin kung tama yung maging value natin. So at joint C, meron tayong forces na CY, which is equals to 7,000 pounds, so sabi din kanina, and CX, which is equals to 0, and then force CE. So bago na rin na-solve, force CE na 8,750 pounds. Okay, so 8,750 pounds. And then force BC na 5,250 pounds in tension. Okay, so to check, so para ma-check natin, since all forces have values, so dapat maging 0 yung summation of forces x and along y niya. So we'll check. So summation of forces along x-axis to the right positive. So this is equals to first is negative 5,250 plus, so this has a positive x component and positive y component. So slope niya is same pa rin yung slope. We have 3, 4, 5. So x component niya is 3 over 5 ng FCE, which is 8,750 pounds, plus 0. So yun isasali, no? So negative 5,250. So 3/5 of 8,750 is also positive 5,250. So this is equals to 0. So check. So meaning tama yung values natin. And then we will solve for summation of forces along y equals to upward positive. So meron tayong 7,000 pounds, that is CY, plus yung CY pala natin is pababa, no? Yung nasulatin kanina. So, pababa pala yung Y natin. CY natin. Okay, so pababa yung CY. Pababa. Pababa yung CY. So, meaning negative yung 7,000 na CY. And then, plus 4/5 ng 8,750 pounds. So, that is negative 7,000 plus, that is also 7,000. So, that is equal to 0. So, meaning, check. So, ibig sabihin nun, tama yung assumptions natin. So, we have now solved all the bar forces. So, to summarize, we have solved that member AB has a 1,500 pounds which is in tension. So, AB is 1,500 pounds in tension, and member AD is 2,500 pounds in compression. So this is 2,500 pounds in compression, and then member DB is 2,500 pounds in tension, and then DE is 3,000 pounds in compression, and then force BE is, or member BE is subjected to force 3,750 pounds. So 3,750 pounds in tension. Compression. In compression. This is in compression. And then force BC is 5,250 pounds in tension. And then force EC is 8,750 pounds in compression. So the reactions are 10,000 pounds at E and CY. So CY is pababa siya. So pababa, CY is 7,000 pounds and CX equals to 0. So we have now solved all the bar forces ng truss. So that's how you solve or analyze a truss using joint method.